Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we will be finishing up reading Chapter 1 of Mockingjay by Susan Collins. Is there any point in doing anything at all? My mother, my sister, and Gail's family are finally safe. As for the rest of 12, people are either dead, which is irreversible, or protected in 13. That leaves the rebels in the districts. Of course, I hate the capital, but I have no confidence that my being the Mockingjay will benefit those who are trying to bring it down. How can I help the districts when every time I make a move, it results in suffering and loss of life? The old man shot in District 11 for whistling. The crackdown in 12 after I intervened in Gail's whipping. My stylist, Cinna, being dragged bloody and unconscious from the lunchroom before the games. Plutarch's sources believe he was killed during interrogation. Brilliant, enigmatic, lovely Cinna is dead because of me. I push the thought away because it's too impossibly painful to dwell on without losing my fragile hold on the situation entirely. What am I going to do? To become the Mockingjay? Could any good I do possibly outweigh the damage? Who can I trust to answer that question? Certainly not that crew in 13. I swear, now that my family and Gail's are out of harm's way, I could run away. Except for one unfinished piece of business. Peeta. If I knew for sure that he was dead, I could just disappear into the woods and never look back. But until I do, I'm stuck. I spin on my heel at the sound of a hiss. In the kitchen doorway, back arched, ears flattened, stands the ugliest tomcat in the world. Buttercup, I say. Thousands of people are dead, but he has survived and even looks well fed. On what? He can get in and out of the house through a window wheel always left ajar in the pantry. He must have been eating field mice. I refuse to consider the alternative. I squat down and extend a hand. Come here, boy. Not likely. He's angry at his abandonment. Besides, I'm not offering food, and my ability to provide scraps has always been my main redeeming quality to him. For a while, when we used to meet up at the old house because we both disliked this new one, we seemed to be bonding a little. That's clearly over. He blinks those unpleasant yellow eyes. Want to see Prim? I ask. Her name catches his attention. Besides his own, it's the only word that means anything to him. He gives a rusty meow and approaches me. I pick him up, stroking his fur, then go to the closet and dig out my game bag and unceremoniously stuff him in. There's no other way I'll be able to carry him on the hovercraft. And he means the world to my sister. Ergo, lady, an animal of actual value has unfortunately not made an appearance. In my headset, I hear Gale's voice telling me we must go back. But the game bag has reminded me of one more thing that I want. I sling the strap of the bag over the back of a chair and dash up the steps to my bedroom. Inside the closet hangs my father's hunting jacket. Before the quell, I brought it here from the old house, thinking its presence might be of comfort to my mother and sister when I was dead. Thank goodness, or it'd be ash now. The soft leather feels soothing, and for a moment I'm calmed by the memories of the hours spent wrapped in it. Then, inexplicably, my palms begin to sweat. A strange sensation creeps up the back of my neck. I whip around to face the room and find it empty, tidy, everything in its place. There was no sound to alarm me. What then? My nose twitches. It's a smell, cloying and artificial, a dab of white peaks out of a vase of dried flowers on my dresser. I approach it with cautious steps. There, all but obscured by its preserved cousins, is a fresh white rose, perfect, down to the last thorn and silken petal. And I know immediately who sent it to me. President Snow. When I begin to gag at the stench, I pack away and clear out. How long has it been here? A day? An hour? The rebels did a security sweep of the Victor's village before it was clear to come here, checking for explosives, bugs, anything unusual. But perhaps the rose didn't seem noteworthy to them. Only to me. Downstairs, I snag the game bag off the chair, bouncing it along the floor until I remember it's occupied. On the lawn, I frantically signal to the hovercraft while Buttercup thrashes. I jab him with my elbow, but this only infuriates him. A hovercraft materializes and the ladder drops down. I step on, and the current freezes me until I'm lifted on board. Gale helps me from the ladder. You all right? Yeah, I say, wiping the sweat off my face with my sleeve. He left me a rose. I want to scream, but it's not information I'm sure I should share with someone like Plutarch looking on. First of all, because it will make me sound crazy. Like I even imagined it, which is quite possible. Or I'm overreacting, which will buy me a trip back to the drug-induced dreamland I'm trying so hard to escape. No one will fully understand how it's not just a flower, not even President Snow's flower, but a promise of revenge. Because no one else sat in the study with him when he threatened me before the victory tour. Positioned on my dresser, that white as snow rose is a personal message to me. It speaks of unfinished business. It whispers, I can find you. I can reach you. Perhaps I am watching you now. And that's it for chapter 1. Okay. Since I broke the chapter into different readings, I have 3 different bookmarks for it. Oh, fuck. So, I think for this, I was going to say read along. It's like, no, write along to something else. But during this dramatic reading, I think I'm just going to save talking about the chapter till I actually finish it. Because that's easier to do, really. And in this chapter, I like how it's structured because it, I think, catches people up enough with what has been happening in this story, in the series so far, as well as updating about new information. I love Buttercup. I just love I guess I like the love-hate relationship between him and Katniss. I think it's just, I used to own cats, now I own 2 parakeets. I'm hoping to own a dog later, maybe years from now, but I do plan to own a dog. And as a former cat owner, I can tell you there is this love-hate relationship with your cat. It's just, even if you like the cat, you're like, that cat is a fucking asshole. And I'm also I'm not surprised because, okay, I was going to say in this reading, hey, I've read this before. No, but in the first time reading the series, including Mockingjay, this goes fucking dark. She talks in breathing in the ashes of dead people. And then she makes a reference to Buttercup looking so good because he's been eating people. It's like, this is a kid's book. I mean, young adult. It's like kids are reading this. It's like, and then it makes censoring young adult adaptations so ludicrous because it's like, fans of the book have survived this. I think other kids can too, and it's just this whole trusting kids to be able to take in a lot more than people give them credit for. Yeah, it's like breathing in people. I would talk about other things from this chapter, but that's what's really fucking stuck to me. So anyways, what are your opinions on the first chapter of Mockingjay by Susan Collins? Remember, you can talk about anything that's happened in the first book and the second book, but nothing after chapter 1. No major spoilers. And I have a question for you. What do you think about Katniss's doubt and her blame for killing people? And also that Peeta is the only reason she's continuing because she doesn't know what has happened to him. Please comment below. And if you want to read this on your own, or you just want to speed ahead and because you just can't wait for the next part, the link is in the description to buy this book, and I would highly recommend you do so. I have a copy. I remember reading the first book, and then I immediately had to go out and get the second and the third. So I would highly recommend not just buying Mockingjay, but the other 2 books also. And if you do want to buy Mockingjay and help support me at the same time, the link in the description is the best way to do so. And later tonight, I will come out with, not spoilers, the blooper reel for this chapter. And I'm not going to have the next chapter covered next week, but the week after. I'm going to try to start getting back into Let's Plays and finally finish up Dead Space Extraction. And so I'm figuring I'll have 1 week where I work on that, and 1 week where I do the dramatic readings. And I'm just, next week I won't be doing any recording. If you do want to watch the Let's Plays, they'll be on my main channel, Jashikins. But next week, I haven't played Dead Space Extraction in over a year because I did the whole thing of being angry at the game, and then I have to get back to it. So, learning controls and everything again. So yeah. Oh, I forgot, if you are watching this on my blog, just go to the bottom of this post and you click on that there and you can buy the book. And as I stated in my last video, no shot glass, so I'll just gulp some. And if you do drink alcohol, just pick your favorite alcohol that's near. Beer, wine, I'm drinking sake. And if you don't drink alcohol for whatever reason, I don't really care, I'm not judging, take a shot of water or milk or whatever. Something not alcoholic in nature. Maybe something healthy. And I'm going to take a shot tonight, not for anything to do with my dramatic reading, but today we lost Alan Rickman at the age of 69 to cancer. So I am a fan of the Harry Potter books and movies. I also enjoyed him in Galaxy Quest, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Die Hard. Those are the ones that come right up to mind, but there are probably others. And if you want to tell me a movie that Alan Rickman, oh yeah, Dogma. Mention a movie he's in that I didn't mention, please mention down below. And I just, lost a great man. So, here's to you, Alan Rickman. Thanks for blessing us with years of awesome work, and you will be dearly missed. Years. And that ended up on an upper, so not next week, but the week after that will be the one where I do the next chapter 2 of Mockingjay by Susan Collins. Although if something happens in that time frame, I just planned for new videos to be uploaded not next week, but the week after. And I hope you have a good day or night or whatever. Bye.